Hey guys, so our data unit is over analyzing and interpreting data. So these next couple of data sets that we have, these plots, we have stem and leaf plot and we have histograms. So stem and leaf you should have seen in 5th grade. So stem and leaf plot displays large sets of data in a table with two parts. The first part is the stem, which uses the first digit in the group of the data. The second part, the leaf, is the remaining digits used to show each individual data piece. Each piece of data is listed in a stem and leaf plot. Here, our first example, I kind of did some of the numbers already. I left the 8 blank just so I can show you what I'm doing. The first part here I have is in my tenths place. I'm using the 8. And then with the second number, I'm going to list those numbers in order from least to greatest. So if I have 85, I'm going to write just the 5 there. My 8 is my stem, the 5 is the leaf. Now I do have more numbers that are in the 80s. I just am putting the leaf piece. So I have 85, 87, 88, 88, and 89. So I'm keeping my 8 as my stem because that's what they have in common, and the leaf is each piece in the ones place. Now on a stem and leaf plot, you do have a key to represent what your stem and leaf plot is showing. So if I have a 6, a line, and an 8, this means a score of 68. So you want to represent what that stem and leaf plot means. In the next one, I have the lengths of a toy car, and I have decimals. So the stem and leaf can also be represented using decimals. I left the 3's blank here so I can show you. I have a 3.1. So here this line would just be the point. 3.1. I have another 3.1, and I'm just writing the 1 there. I'm writing that last number, so 5. So whenever I have, and you can represent whatever number you want in the key. So if I have a 3, a line, and a 5, this means a length of 3.5. So that line is representing that decimal in this situation. So here are some types of examples that you'll see about stem and leaf. So the question says, determine if the following statements are true or false. So here it says the range in energy score is 26 points. To find the range, again, we take our highest number minus our lowest number. Always look at your key so you know what you're taking. Here it says a number, my line, and then another number just represents the 55. So I have an 82 minus 55, which gives us, let's borrow, 12 minus 5 gives us 7, 7 minus 5 gives us 2. We have a range of 27, so this statement is false. The next question says, a total of 13 homes were rated. Going back up, you see that I had this set of numbers, and that was displayed here. So to figure out if there were 13 data pieces, we just count our leaves here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one is also false. The next one says the median energy score is 66. Now these are already in order from least to greatest, and we just have to cross them off from the beginning and then the end. So I have crossing off the 82, the 55, the 77, the 56, 73, 58, 71, 59, 70, 59, and I'm stuck between 64 and 67. Now, whenever I land between two numbers, I do need to add them together and then divide by 2. So 64 plus 67, 7 plus 4 is 11. We have 12 plus 1 is 13. 131. If I divide that by 2, I already know I'm not going to get this even number here because I have an odd number. And when I divide by 2, I'm going to get a decimal. So this one is also false. The next one says the most common home rating was 59. Now again, the most common is that mode. So the most common is 59. Let's see. So here it says I have two 59s, and that is the only one that has a double number there. So this one is true. The next type is histograms. Histograms show data in intervals or ranges. They are similar to bar graphs, but each bar touches the other, and they are similar to a dot plot because they represent the overall shape and the spread of data. So for example, here we have the decades of our age ranges. So it says how many scores were included in the data set. Now, if I add all these numbers up, I do get 100. So it says list the number of scores for each range. So if I look at this 1 to 5 here, I do see that I only have 1. 6 to 10, I only have 1. And then I jump up to 11 to 15. Now, if I have that straight line and I continue out, I see that I hit 17 there. The next one, 16 through 20. It shows that I have 34. 21 to 25. Let me change up my color here. It brings me to about 28. My 26 to 30 range brings me to about 16. And then my 31 to 35 range brings me to about 3. So the next question says, which range of scores represents 17% of my data? Now, because I have 100 pieces of data, that could represent 100%. Now, I'm looking for 17%, and these two are equal, so I'm looking for this number here, 17. So the ages 11 through 15. That represents 17% of my data. The next question says, what percent of the scores are included in the 21 to 25 range? And again, we're talking about percentages. I have 100 pieces of data, so that could represent my 100%. And it wants to know the 21 through 25 range. So 21 through 25, I have 28 pieces of data, so 28%. And that's about it. And if you have any questions, please make sure you let your teacher know, and we will more than happy help you. Make sure you're turning in your activities for those math